are live. Welcome back to another episode of the Consistency Conversation. Today on the show, we have my main man all the way from my hometown, Kevin Washington. What's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Good, bro. How you doing? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Glad to have you in here. Kevin
Thank you.
Washington is a fitness trainer. He's an enthusiast. A fitness trainer enthusiast, and he's also an athlete. He's been training and in the fitness space for quite some time. And Kevin, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, man?
Great. Oh, Kevin Washington, 44 years old, former athlete. Did some personal training, some sports training, some coaching. Um, Let me see what else. Just a fitness enthusiast.
Yeah, man. I like it, man. I like it. I like fitness. I like consistency and all those different things. And that's what we're here on to talk about, man. So as a young man of 44, you know what I mean? How did your fitness journey start, man?
My fitness journey started, I would say, man, after high school.
After high school.
Um,
It's kind of
yeah,
late, man.
you know how if you talk to some professional athletes,
Mm-hmm.
they've played sports and worked out from like youth on
Mm-hmm.
up,
Yeah.
and then once they retire, they don't participate in sports anymore. They kind of like don't do no type of conditioning, no exercise, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm basically started after I graduated high school. I made it through high school football and everything
Mm-hmm.
with the minimalist amount of training possible.
Yeah.
And I tried to get as much as I could under my belt to prepare me to play football on the next level.
Okay.
So just basically talking to people, picking people's minds that wasn't even sports related, but like the bodybuilding area, the fitness area. So it's kind of going down a journey
Mm-hmm.
on my own to kind of learn how to get fit and prepare for sports.
Okay. So you said you played sports in high school, but you didn't lift weights while you were in high school?
I think I probably, man, probably
Not much.
on an
Minimum.
average, I did the best.
The minimum.
I'm gonna tell you how minimum it was. I ran. When we played football, we had
Okay.
to play another sport
Mm,
during the off season.
okay.
So me and my friends, we went to wrestling training. Matter of fact, all my coaches coach other sports. So we went to the field house. We watched wrestling. We look and we like too hot. It's too
Yeah.
hot. Too personal. Nah. So
Yeah.
track,
Too personal.
indoor,
Yeah.
indoor,
Yeah.
cross country, too
Mm-hmm.
much running.
Too long.
Yeah, indoor track, shot and disc. We ain't got to run. We ain't really got. Yeah, we're gonna do indoor track.
Yeah.
So, and there's some people that can verify indoor track.
Mm-hmm.
We would go to Blacksburg. There was at Tech, all
Yeah.
the track
Virginia
meets.
Tech. Mm-hmm.
So after I did my shot and disc, I had a cell phone at the time. I was always calling Papa John's. So
Dang.
once I finished, Papa John's, and
Man.
I'm walking there. I'm walking on my box while all the sprinters was looking like, "Yo, you got peace? Yeah, y'all have fun with y'all race." So,
Mm-hmm.
so
Man, I used to be jealous of y'all, man. You know what I mean? And then so like, cause I used to run, and then I used to run track too. And then especially outdoor, like I ran a 4x4, so that was always the last event. So it was
yeah,
just like, man, it used to suck, man. But
used
I
to love
mean, it was
watching it
what it
though.
was. Yeah, exactly. Everybody was out there for the 4x4, and everybody,
Yeah,
even if you didn't like the 4x4 event, you still was out there watching it because you knew after that event was over, everybody was going home. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So.
yeah,
So how
yeah.
did you? I know we spoke a little bit before we went on air about your football and about rugby. So how did that transition go from rugby to football to rugby? What were your football and rugby experiences about?
Um, I started playing rugby to get in shape for football.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where my running took place because rugby is like soccer. So
All
you're
running.
running, yeah, it's all running. So I got my conditioning from there. I had a membership at a gym, so I worked out, worked, went to school, played rugby.
Mm.
So that kind of got me in shape, and I started to learn discipline and how to train, why I'm training, got all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff under my belt before I was able to transfer to go to school
Yeah. To play football.
to play football.
Oh, so you played rugby just to train for football?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
that's good. Did you play football in Roanoke or somewhere
yeah.
else?
I went to PH.
They had rugby there?
Yeah, Ronald Rugby Club.
Man, look, I didn't even know they had rugby until shoot, about 4 or 5 years ago when my son started playing. And I was totally shocked when he started playing. Like, just hadn't heard about it, because I went to Fleming, so there wasn't, at least when I was there was no rugby. I think we had started getting lacrosse or something like that, but
Yeah,
was no rugby. If there was, I didn't know about it.
I
Um,
saw the flyer. I saw the flyer at Virginia Western one day. I was in the near the bookstore, and that's how I found it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna give it a try.
mhm.
And I went out there and but the funny thing about it, they practiced at Villa Heights. The field at the bottom of the Villa Heights of the house,
I
the
used to
rec
live
center.
in Villa Heights. I used to
Yeah.
live right down the
Okay.
street from the rec center.
Okay. The rec center is that bottom, like how the
Yeah,
open
that
field is.
raggedy field down there.
You ain't never see a bunch of white guys out there running
I did, but I ain't never know what they was doing.
rugby.
Man, and I lived
Yeah.
there. Like we moved there. We moved there when I was in the ninth grade. So probably 89, 90 when we moved there. And I used to
Yeah.
see people out there, but I didn't
Yeah.
know. Cause I used to just go past there, like going to my friend's house or going to the basketball court was right there.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Now
Yeah.
you got me going down memory lane, man.
Yeah. Then
Crazy Villa
and they
Heights.
still have a club. They still got a club now.
Yeah, I bet they ain't. I
Yeah.
bet they ain't practicing over there though.
I don't know. I mean,
You
I
don't
think
know.
they practiced there probably, from what I remember,
Hmm.
probably up until like the 2000s or so.
Wow.
And I was there in 96.
Mm. Dang, man, it's crazy how
Yeah.
I never knew, and I was literally right
But
there.
man, I went and played we played tournaments in Blacksburg. I even
Hmm.
played in the St. Patrick's tournament in Savannah.
Mm.
This
So,
the big tournament.
oh, so how come you didn't stay with rugby versus football?
Man, I asked myself that a
Mm.
lot.
Yeah.
I think it was because I was using it as a stepping stone. It was
Hmm.
fun,
Yeah.
but I didn't have all the rules down, and the position I played was a smaller person's position.
Hmm.
So it kind of like, they were kind of teaching me as I was playing.
Mm.
And you know what, like hindsight, if I could do it again, I would have played rugby.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of them things when you're young and you're not exposed to certain things, I just thought football was it.
That part. That part right
Yeah.
there. And I think especially in certain communities like the ones we grew up in, there wasn't a lot of exposure to different types of sports and stuff. And I
Yeah.
know now, like I would encourage any young man, especially if they want to pursue um sports and they really like football, football is really hard to get into. But I mean, if you can make a good transition into rugby, especially as a collegiate player, I think you might got a shot, I mean, especially at the collegiate level. We got a lot of athletes, but
I,
you know
I
what I'm
caught so
saying?
much I caught so much flack.
I know you
Rugby?
did.
Why are you playing rugby? You playing rugby?
Exactly.
And it was crazy because when I would go to the meets and the
Hmm.
matches,
Yeah.
it's clubs, so you play
Yeah.
2 games, and then y'all hang out at the end of, no
Hmm.
matter. I seen fights, I seen people get their heads stomped on, and at
Hmm.
the end, y'all go to the clubhouse, they drink beer. It was it was all good. I was drinking milk. I wasn't drinking back
Yeah.
then, so
Yeah.
I was like, it was the camaraderie,
Hmm.
but it was just real ultra competitive.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, mm. It's like I never, in most cases, 99.9% of the time, I was the only black person out there.
Yeah. Yep.
And like, it was never it was never an issue. It was like, man,
Mm-hmm.
you got any friends? Can you bring some more friends out?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, it was
No.
weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. Because
I,
even
I
when
had
I
some people, I had a couple
go ahead.
people come and see me play. They was like, man, it's like, you play rugby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the lack of, man. Like information is a privilege, man. Like it really is. Like I said, I could only imagine. Like I think I could have played. I think I could have been successful at rugby. You know what I mean? I'm 5'6", I'm 160 pounds now, but I was a lot smaller then. But my son is like 5'5". And he played rugby, I guess was the number 15, like one of the wingmans or something. He played, and
Play wing.
yeah, he's really fast, and like he was really good at it. You know what I mean? And that was really the first exposure I had to it. And I played one year, like 3 games one day in a little tournament. I had a whole bunch of fun doing it, man. Like I said, I would recommend any young man that's into football or something to definitely take a peek at it and look at it. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. Have you ever seen a 225-pound wing?
No, maybe
Yeah, I
on the
put
maybe on the what is it, the black, what they call it?
the blacks. The
The All
blacks.
Blacks,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe
yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Or the Samoan team.
Yeah, dude, I seen
Yeah,
some of them dudes. Them dudes be big,
yeah.
but do they? And they be fast. I get too. I bet they super fast too.
Some of them. Some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I be
I played.
wondering.
A,
I'm
I
like
played
wondering
against a
like,
couple.
yeah. I wonder like if I'm old now, but I wonder if I was like, like this same size and I was like 25, could I be really good? You know what I mean? Being 160 pounds and I don't know, let's say I've ran a 4.3. You know what I
You can
mean?
still play.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, speed.
Mm-hmm.
It's important. It's good to have speed, but you think about it, how fast you gonna be able to go for that long?
Yeah.
And for me, by me actually never running,
Mm.
and I actually got down to like 215. I think by like the first season, I got to about 215.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about really the straight motion. It's all mental because you can run and right before you able to get tackled or get hit, you can kick the ball up.
Yep.
Or let's say if you wanted to advance the ball, you run, you kick it, and then you make them catch it. And then when they go to catch, you can hit them
Mm.
before they hit, as they catch the ball. Or they do angels, how you can run in between, and then you can switch the ball. There's so many things you can do. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like a never stop, a never ending option.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Yep.
because you don't have to go straight. You can cut in
Lateral.
between everybody. Yeah, lateral.
Mm-hmm.
You can lateral to the big man.
Yep.
It's so many things you can do. You can kick it and then have a person run straight down. They can grit it in advance. There's just so many different
Yeah.
things you can do.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a lot of rules. And I was trying to learn when he was playing, but I never did pick up on all of them, man.
Yeah,
So
you can still play. I know they got, if they have clubhouse rugby, they got
mm.
old boys.
Yeah, they
So
got two of
anything.
them out here. Me
Yeah,
and
man, I'm
my
telling you.
me and my son, he just turned 20. We've been talking about, playing on a team. It's too cold right now, and I got too much stuff going on, but you know what I
I play,
mean?
man. Think
I don't
about it.
like the
Think
cold.
about it. Think about it. I played out there in this weather
Mm-hmm.
with them shorts
I
on.
know. I
Yeah,
know.
and
Them shorts
I'm
and
gonna tell you,
t-shirt.
I had Nike Shark cleats.
Mm.
Remember the Nike Shark cleats
Yep,
back in the
back in the
day?
day, everybody wanted Nike shorts.
Yeah, I had them cleats, but the rule in rugby is the rugby or the soccer cleats, they don't have the spike in the front of the toe. So I had to cut
Mm.
that off. I had to
Oh,
cut it
okay.
off. Yeah. Man, you
I didn't
talking about
know about
cold?
all of that. Man, I know, because I used to be at the games. It's like they always had games
Yeah.
in this rugby season right now, ain't it?
Yeah.
January,
And
yeah.
you got sevens in the spring. But you think about it,
Yeah.
it's not no different than playing football.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thing about it on football, you got people now. You see people, the
Yeah.
cats at Green Bay, don't even have no
Mm.
sleeves on.
I know. Them linemen and stuff. I'm like, I don't see how they do it, man. I remember I played football and I was the sideline guy. I was third string water boy. So I stayed on the sideline. So I was cold the whole game. And I remember one day, man, we went to Pulaski and
Oh my
Pulaski.
God.
Man, it was cold out there. And like we had a game. I think we lost. And then like, at the time, the rule was you're gonna take a shower before you get on that bus. So we had to take a cold shower. You know what I mean? I ain't played the whole game. We lost and
Mm,
I gotta take a cold shower. I didn't, I ain't like that stuff. I don't, and
yes.
then 20 years in the
Nah.
military, man, I don't like the cold, man. You can have that stuff.
Whew.
So when
Yeah.
once you started playing football, how did your working out or your fitness change, or what was football and fitness like?
Um, by the time I left Roanoke, the
Mm-hmm.
transition when I transferred, I went to John C. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a mindset that I was going to be a starter.
Mm.
So, I continually worked out, you know, I worked on my food, things like that. I got to school probably 3 days before everybody else got there.
Mm.
So I got to the campus when nobody was there. So I basically was there. Um, I had a car. So I did, got my food, got everything together. Went to the gym. I'm gonna tell you now, if I had what they had then, man, we had a gym. No matter what you put on, you was gonna get dirty. They
Mm.
had, they didn't have matching dumbbells. All the dumbbells was mismatch. Man, they had
At a
some old
college?
at a college. I'm talking about like they had a 70, they had a 65, they had maybe 250s, but like all the dumbbells, they had never had a match. And then like the inclines were super, almost like military, so it was like this,
Mm. Yeah.
that slight. And like when I started working out with the team, they had a flat bench. When you did military press, you had to go on the squat rack. Then you had to sit back to back on the bench. Then get the barbell and then do the military press like that. So the person had to sit up against your back for you
Mm-hmm.
to have that stable surface
Yeah.
for military press. That's how bad it was. It was probably one of the worst gyms like ever.
Mm-hmm. That was
And
HBCU.
yeah,
Mm.
HBCU.
Yeah, I've
And
heard some of those horror stories about some of the
I had to get a membership.
facilities.
I had to
Yeah.
get a membership at a gym to work out.
Mm.
Independence. You remember it was a 24-hour fitness center.
I
Um,
probably do. I
I
probably
had to get,
do.
I got a membership there to work out. That's how bad it was.
So that means you had to drive a little bit
Yeah,
in order to
well,
go to the gym.
yeah.
Well, now depending on
Actually,
what part of Independence you at too.
I was on
Independence
Independence.
long.
I was in Independence. The gym was probably uh half a mile from Bojangles Arena.
Okay. Okay.
So from John C. Smith, because John C. Smith, Betty's Ford turns into trade.
Mm-hmm.
So literally when you get out, you pull out the parking lot, it's less than a mile before it's the exit to get on the highway.
Oh,
So
okay.
it wasn't far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you took a right, it took you back up the other way to the other highway. So everything's like where John C. Smith is. It's pretty much ideal because you can get on the highway off
Yeah.
and on pretty much anywhere.
I was just at Bojangles Arena not too long last year
But that, yeah,
in
you
April.
was, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But that traffic back then, by it being like I think 2 lanes on each side, I think it would take you probably an hour to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Now it probably take you 15 minutes, but back then
See,
30 minutes to an hour.
that was part of the problem. I said the reason why I moved away from Charlotte, and and the reason why
The
I
infrastructure,
wouldn't move back. Yeah, it was the infrastructure wasn't there then,
yeah,
because I
yeah,
remember like at the time my
it's still
ex-wife
not.
she used to drive a long way. You know what I mean? She was drive like she didn't drive that far, but it would take her like 45 minutes. She being stuck in traffic and stuff.
Oh my
Um,
God,
and like I said, coming from Roanoke, man, it's like
it's
being
10
in traffic
minutes.
exactly. You go anywhere in Roanoke, 10, 15 minutes, you there. So like
Yeah,
for me, and even in the town that I live in now, it's pretty similar to that.
yeah,
So but I got another major city that's, 20-25 minutes away, which is Raleigh. So
Raleigh.
I like
Yeah,
being on the outside, and then everything is here on the outside. And then if I want to go see
big
somebody,
stuff.
I can. I'm close enough to go. So that's kind of how
Yeah.
I like living like that, man. So as you transition into doing the football, and then after football, at some point you had to graduate college and stuff like that. How did your fitness continue on after that?
Well, I didn't graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I left,
Mm-hmm.
then moved to Greensboro for maybe
Okay.
like 6, 7 months. Then I moved back to Charlotte. So by then I got into the banking industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked at First Union downtown
Mm-hmm.
when it was First Union before First Union and Wachovia merged.
Mm.
So like
Remember
you had the
Wachovia?
yeah, so before they merged, so they had three big major banking centers there downtown. So I worked there, and then I still, worked out. Um, by that time, I because you still got the Muscle Fitness magazines because basically the early 70s, 80s, 90s, those were the height of the bodybuilding era.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was bodybuilding based. So I got into, doing not bodybuilding, but muscle fitness, get my workouts out of muscle fitness,
Mm-hmm.
looking at stuff like that because internet wasn't too,
Oh yeah,
wasn't all that back then.
absolutely
So
not.
yeah, so I got then I got went to a couple grunge gyms. Charlotte, I was in Charlotte, so they have a lot of different gyms like between the Y, Bally's, Goals, a couple other small spots. So, I was working out different places, still kind of like, watching the people who were bigger than me
Mm-hmm.
and look better than what I looked because I was doing it for the football aspect. Then once I got out of football, it was kind of like, from the cosmetic aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So then, looking from that standpoint, then start looking at, how I ate, changing that stuff. Um, then kind of got into the post that type of bodybuilding era. But then I started working at Goals
Mm-hmm.
and I became a trainer at Goals. So then I started back playing football.
Okay.
Yeah, so I played minor league football for probably 6, 7 years. So
Do
then
do they pay? Like, I don't really know too much about it. Is that like when you say minor, is that like semi-pro? Is that the same thing?
it's,
Or no?
it's they're lateral. It,
Okay.
it is, but it's not. But
Okay.
like if you are young and you're going to play semi-pro, and once you start taking money, then your college eligibility goes out the door.
Mm. Okay.
So, and I'm gonna tell you something funny. Have you ever seen the picture of AB when he had I think it's San Diego State, the jersey, the burgundy jersey with the
Mm-mm.
gold teeth in his mouth, and he got his
Come on, Antonio
haircut, got an
Brown?
even haircut? Yeah.
Mm-mm. I may
Okay.
I may, I may have seen it.
There's a picture. I think he might have been probably second year there. Before that, we had a team, and most people that played for the Rush, the Ronald Rush, the semi-pro team in Ronald Rush,
Mm-hmm.
they got paid.
Mm.
So there was a team in Charlotte called the Carolina Cowboys, and they got paid. But what they did was there was a coach. He got Division 1 talent, and what he did was he got all these cats to come to Charlotte to play for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he either got them a job, got them hotels, got them stuff like that. So these people thought they were going to be the next step going to the league.
Mm.
So they were getting kind of paid. So shortly after that, they kind of disbanded. So the coach started a prep school. So he still had that same the pull where he would get cats from high school or cats that played college or played high school that was trying to
Mm-hmm.
go D1 or to another college.
Yeah.
He got him. He had him on a prep team. AB played on that prep team.
What?
Yeah,
In Charlotte?
in Charlotte. I didn't realize until one of my teammates had posted. They showed that picture and they posted. They said, "Hey, remember he was at NC Tech?" And he was like, "Yeah," and he was good.
Mm-hmm.
But like they had so many kids, man, like would like leave high school, or they
Mm-hmm.
would like that, like Fork Union. It
Yeah.
was kind of like it was something like that,
Mm.
but it basically was a scam.
For football. Mm.
Yeah, so he was getting them, he was getting all these kids there, but and it was talented kids, but
Yeah.
they wasn't. He was lying to them. He was just
Mm.
trying to pad his record.
Yeah.
So between all that, we had like semi-pro, minor league, and then we had nationals.
Mm-hmm.
So I think probably a year or two after the rush and all those teams faded out, another group of teams came around. So some guys got paid, some guys didn't get paid. It was a hush hush, or
Mm.
it was
I'm gonna pay you,
if
but
I
just
pay
don't
you,
tell nobody.
yeah, and then you got insurance and stuff like that. So
Mm.
I played probably 6 or 7 years. I got won 3 national championships, 3 rings, been to 5.
So what for people like me or other people who don't know too much about that space, um what's the benefit of, we can jump off fitness, I guess, but everything comes back to fitness. What's the benefit of playing, minor league or semi pro ball for that time? Is there a mindset that, we can all like, we'll get a shot or be ready, what I mean, just in case. You never know. You still can grow, still can grind. Or is it for the love? Or, what I mean? Like what's usually the next step for people who play semi or minor league? Minor
It
league?
depends.
Yeah.
It depends on your age and your mindset. I've probably seen and played with or played against probably people who could play in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just it's the matter of your circumstance and how you take control of your circumstance.
Mm.
So like I had a teammate in college and on that team that you remember Jeff McGinnis? He used
The
to play
name
for
sound
Carolina.
real. Yeah, the name sound real
Yeah.
familiar. Yeah.
I played with his little brother. I played football with his
Okay.
little brother. Football and basketball. Football and basketball. He played both.
Okay.
But 6'4", 6'5", 225, unguardable.
What?
Unguardable. Like he would either get 15, they would get 15 yards cushion on the ball. And we were a primary running team.
He's still
But
getting
when
15 yards on the defensive back?
I,
That's
I you seen
mad respect.
I seen him do things and just quiet, humble. I seen him do things that
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, wow, I'm like you shouldn't be here. It's
Yeah.
just, you run against a lot of different players, but and then I analyze a lot of stuff. So being in that position, we probably were playing right around 9/11. So I had a couple opportunities to go overseas, but when 9/11 happened, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm not going over there. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going over there. So they've
Yeah.
got a couple they've got a couple European football leagues that people were playing in. They
Mm-hmm.
would go, they would live there, they come back for a couple months, and they would go back, they worked,
Like playing
and then they
basketball
play.
overseas?
Yeah, like playing basketball.
Oh, I never knew
Except
that.
it wasn't as popular. A lot of
Yeah.
people didn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew a bunch of different scouts that did it. And it's just, long story short, it depends on your age, um, and your drive. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's one thing to be a talent, and it's a lot of things I see happen, especially in Roanoke with the youth. Like when I coach kids, North Carolina's a basketball state,
Yep.
but there's a lot of football, especially in Charlotte. There's a lot of football teams.
Yep.
There's a lot of football training. There's a lot of access to football and sports training.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there's one of my son's teammates that was a good. He was a good athlete. He's got his top 12 teams that he's recruited by are all D1 schools, top D1 schools. And he went from 9, 10 years old to becoming a monster. and he had the same mentality as a kid, but football training, his parents invested in him.
Yeah.
So a lot of us, when you 17, 18, the people that's around you gonna kind of write you off. If you ain't there yet, you ain't gonna get there.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things to where, you know, you have to put work in. You have to put the work in. You got to train. And it was like a lot of guys that, like, I trained and I worked out and I carried myself as if I was going to go to the next level. I know by the time I got there and started playing that it wasn't going to happen, but I'm still able to play. I'm still healthy, and it's a legit team, and we can go to the championship. You know, it's, if you want to say kind of like rec, yeah, but you know, it kind of sort of like we were more popular than the Panthers because the Panthers wasn't winning any games.
Yeah.
We didn't lose no games for like 3 or 4 years.
What?
So it was just, you know, it just depends, you know, kind of. And we got guys coming off work. We got some guys that didn't practice.
Yeah.
They just showed up for the games. But you know, they knew what the plan was. They knew they were so much athletes and they knew the game. Even though, yeah, but you know, you don't work out. You ain't do this. You ain't do that. But you know, when they came Saturday, they was gonna show up to play.
Yeah.
And actually, they still play now.
Mm.
So
What's
like
the oldest dude that's probably playing out there right now? What do you think? People still playing in their 40s? Because I mean, you know, we looking at Tom Brady and you know, and Aaron Rodgers. These guys are elite, but they, you know, they've crested 40-year mark. You know,
some guys is like in their 50s, 50, 51, 52.
Man.
And we ain't talking about quarterback. We talking about linebackers, running backs, some receivers, some D line, some O line. I got some of my teammates that I played with and won championships with. They stopped playing, got into coaching, and they've won championships. I know a couple of my players, my old teammates. I know they got. I never counted the conference championship rings. We normally get 3 rings a year. We'll get the national, we get the conference, and we get the division. Like I never got all my rings. I literally have 1 ring, and I think my son has it. My thing is, I did it. I lived it. I don't really need the rings.
Yeah.
I mean, we know we.
You know I got the rings. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really need the rings.
Yeah, like you gonna be wearing them every day anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Some people do. One of my coaches, you know, we still friends now. He has handful of rings. But it's literally like I know guys that I won with. They got into coaching, and they won just as many as they won playing. So they have probably, man, 10, 11 rings. And some guys and actually this past weekend it's in Homestead. It's a national championship. So some guys from home they won the championship this year.
So a lot of these dudes are playing for the love of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. For the love of the game, the cohesion, the camaraderie, you know, being out there. And then, you know, you got to be in some sort of physical fitness to be able to still be able to do that, especially at that age. You know what I mean?
So, like, some of them are young. Some of them are younger. Yeah. But then some of them also are player coaches.
Okay.
So yeah, I literally stopped playing. I think my son was 7 or 8 when I stopped playing because I played fullback and running back. So it got to where once I go through the hole and the linebacker moved out the way, because I like contact. I was like, yeah, I'm not playing no more. It got boring because
they didn't want to hit you.
No.
Yeah.
I was like 250, 255.
What? How tall are you?
Yeah. 6 foot.
Nah, that's gonna hurt. I'm good. But I ain't playing linebacker either.
But it's just, you know, and we like that.
So you bring up a good point. So, and I've always wondered this about NFL players. Are NFL players still, even at that level, some of them still don't want contact? You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like I feel like if I'm getting paid all that money, and you know what I mean, it's like I feel like the fear of getting hit goes out of the window at some time. Like I'm just thinking about, that potential linebacker they may move away from you. You know what I mean? He's already, and maybe that could be part of it because he's playing, minor ball or I don't know what's the correct term. I don't want to misquote you.
You can
Um,
say it's mine. You can say mine.
Minor. Okay. And he's moving. I understand, his guy may have a family or something like this, but I can't see being out there on the field and being scared of contact. Um,
Yeah, and then we always say, at the end of the day, we got a family, we got to
yeah.
take care of. So yeah,
But
that
you like
always,
contact though.
yeah, that's always
So
at the forefront. Eh,
yeah.
my thing was, I'm always gonna
Uh,
end up on the upper side of it. I'm like, I'm not,
yeah.
if I'm out here, if you're
Mm-hmm.
out here and you're playing this sport or you're box and then I box, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
you, if you scared,
Mm-hmm.
somebody else is gonna be in it where you at, and you're gonna be on the bench. But
Absolutely.
like, I mean, it's football, so
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be some contact,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's
That I played running back mostly. Like I started playing over. You know where Wilmont is? I started playing over there.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh
what I
yeah,
played for most of the time growing up. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I played with a whole bunch of people. I can name
Turkey Bowl,
everything. Now I started
yeah.
playing in 1983
Oh
for the
wow,
Wilmot
okay,
Cowboys, and that's kind of how I became a Cowboy
okay,
fan.
okay,
Yeah, so it just
okay.
kind of stuck
Gotcha,
after all
gotcha.
these years. You know what I mean? Um, I don't even know where I was going with that, man. But so you started talking about that you did. You just mentioned it, and I just lost my train of thought. Um, some sort of other exercise you were just talking about. I can't rewind it right now, but there
Boxing.
was yeah, the boxing. Yeah, so how did your boxing training differ from like other training that you may have done? Because I know that's
Bo-
totally different beast than
Totally,
anything
totally
else.
different. And it's funny because I, at one point, I was doing boxing training and playing football. But then they were like, well, if you're gonna box, then you're not gonna you gotta not play football anymore. So I was like, okay, yeah. So then I kind of put football to the back burner a little bit. But then you gotta think about it. I when my son, I think when I man, before my son was born, so we like looking at maybe '02, '03. I ruptured my
Mm-hmm.
Achilles.
Mm.
So we had just won a championship. So I was like, well, I'm gonna put on 20 pounds of muscle, and then I'm gonna kind of lean it back out before the season starts. So I I stacked a lot of my weight gain. I did all that stuff, um, and I played basketball too. So I always played basketball. So I was like, I'll just do this, and the third. But I didn't run. I never
Mm.
ran. So sports, I never ran. Lifted weights and did training drills, but never ran. So I got out there and went to the they have a flag tournament at the Panther Stadium every year. So I played tackle and I played flag.
Mm. Flag is
So I would
fun.
do, yeah, competitive flag. I've been over out of town traveling with the flag teams. So I would play like flag in the mornings, afternoons, and then I might have a game like later on that night.
Mm.
So I did flag too. So I was like, I'll just do this, I'll do that. Got into playing flag, and I ruptured my Achilles. So I ruptured my Achilles in March. I tried to play a season to tackle in August. And then by
Five
that
months
time I
later.
was yeah, by that time I was
Mm.
255. I was 255 by that time. So I was at the 225, 230.
Mm-hmm.
I got the 20 pounds.
You
but
got it.
but
You
the,
got it.
yeah, but I got that bad Achilles in the
Mm.
process. So
Yeah.
then it was kind of like trying to get my weight back down, because like the lighter I am, the less strain gonna be on my leg.
Yeah.
So I was doing all that. But then I kind of phased out of the football and got into boxing. And I got into boxing by way of doing the tough man competitions. And I realized I was 255 and I was 80% weights, 10% elliptical, the other 10 boxing.
Mm.
So I already had done Muay Thai, American kickboxing, Muay Thai, things like that, but I never actually boxed. But they always told me I should box.
Yeah.
So, I just saw a flyer. Hey, let's go try it out. Bought me some gloves and everything,
Mhm.
boom. And I got to my third tough man and I lost by decision.
Mm.
And I tell people when I'm in the gym, like for boxing stuff, I tell them all the time, you can't play boxing. Boxing is conditioning, is skill, it's a lot of things. And if you lacking in one of them,
You gonna
then
get exposed.
yeah, real quick,
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
So I feel like I fought a guy maybe like 200. I was
Mhm.
255, and I lost by decision. I went back in the back. Don't know how I got out of the ring without falling. I was so tired, but I laid on my back and tried to catch my breath for 20 minutes. That's how tired I was. And then after that, I said I'm going to the boxing gym because I can't keep doing this.
Mhm.
And that's how I learned the importance of running,
Mhm.
calisthenics, stuff like that. So I actually didn't lift weights for probably like 3 or 4 months. And I focused on like calisthenics, things like that, running, drills. And as I started doing more and more boxing, I leaned out. But then on the football side of it, I kind of I kept some weights in, but then I actually was faster because I never ran. So then as I started running more and then I
Yeah.
got into football, like I was still a little bit more quicker and I moved a
Yeah.
lot. I was able to move more.
Yeah.
So
You
then they
woke
would
up
put
some of
me,
the muscles that you hadn't been using.
yeah.
You
So
know what I'm
like I
saying?
literally
Got
didn't
better.
play for I didn't play for a whole season. And so happened they made it to the championship. And they said, hey, won't you come and play with us? And I was like, yeah, I ain't
I ain't
played all
played all
year.
year. Yeah.
I don't want to step on nobody's toes. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Mhm.
So I played, and we played a team from Florida. And one of my friends was a linebacker. And over the years, he gained a bunch of weight and he didn't work out. And I ended up taking his position and they had me primarily rushing on
Mm.
defense. And like that next year, there's like, well, after that, it's like, man, we need you to come back next year. We're going to put you on linebacker. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that.
A running back. Fullback.
Yeah, put it back to linebacker. But they end up switching me back because my heart wasn't that linebacker.
Yeah.
I like the contact, but my heart wasn't that linebacker.
Yeah.
It was a fullback, tailback in the backfield. So,
Yeah. I
but
played a
then
little
I
bit of
ended up
running back. I was like, man, it's like for me, it always hurt more when I hit somebody than when I got tackled. Didn't really hurt when I got tackled. I would hit people sometime. I get stingers in my neck and stuff, man. It's just I feel like
yeah
sometimes I never passed out, never blacked out, but in my interpretation of what I think it may feel like before you black out, what I mean? I felt like I was, what I mean? I feel like I've been
yeah
there
neck
before.
roll yeah neck
Yeah.
roll
Yeah.
yeah
Man, I used to
yeah
love the neck roll, man. I used to see them joke with them
yeah
big white neck rolls. I was like, man, I want to be like
yeah.
them. You know what I
I
mean?
kept a neck roll.
I
I
was
kept a
too
neck
small,
roll.
man. I ain't had no need with no biz with no neck roll. I ain't had one. I didn't play the linebacker position either, or the fullback. I played running back and some wide receiver and stuff like that, man. So, as you like, are you still currently training people and stuff like that, or are you took a hiatus
I
from that, or from time to time? Or...
I took a hiatus. I
Yeah.
worked for the Y at the Y for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Charlotte, I probably had like 3 jobs.
Mm.
So I was always busy. And I did a lot of training. Like when I coached, I did like specific drills and training with my kids. So
Mm.
I trained them separate from coaching because I had an aspect like if I had kids and I wanted them to do and move a certain way, I need to train them because nobody else is really going to train them.
Yeah.
So I said separate training for them, and then I kind of moved and transitioned over into my coaching with my team. But I do stuff um periodically. If somebody needs some help, I'll help them.
Yeah.
Um, and I was in the process of trying to start a kids training program in Charlotte, and I tried to get the Y to back it, but they kind of, it was historically black Y. It was kind of like the Gainsborough Y. It was on Betty's
Yep.
Ford.
Okay.
And what I my approach to fitness, my approach changed because I worked in healthcare for 13 years.
Ooh.
So I was more so on the the guidelines of how medical health and fitness should be, especially like when insurance with, regular doctors and not holistic and organic stuff. I was like, man, why do these people just don't go to a regular doctor? Why are they trying to do all this extra stuff?
Hmm.
And then, you know, later down the line, I kind of got the understanding of like natural medicine, natural health, and, you know, the purpose of it. So then I kind of had to change, my way of thinking, because, and it comes down to when you're young, living in Roanoke, and you have old school parents or people around you, they don't know anything but what they were taught.
Hmm.
So they don't have any option or choice but to teach you what they was
But
taught.
they know. Hmm.
So a lot of times when you have, well, that's a genetic, blood pressure is genetic, this is genetic. Some cases, yeah. But a lot of times what's genetic is your way of life and how you was taught to live and eat
Mm.
and to
I
be.
like that.
So it actually has you basically closed-minded, because if you don't know it, then you're going to shoot it down for the simple fact that that's the only thing you know is what you've been taught. And it ain't to say that the people who taught you was wrong, but if they wasn't kind of privy to certain information back then, they kind of are wrong.
Yep.
But we don't want to tell our elders that they were wrong,
Mm.
because it's
I get that.
disrespectful.
I get that.
So yeah, so I learned I learned a lot of
Yeah.
other things.
Hmm.
I learned a lot of other things with that. So I kind of had, with my fitness, I was basically sports, bodybuilding aspect, no cardio. So then I started learning about, other things as far as cardio, calisthenics, things like that. So then boxing. So what I did was I kind of fused everything together. So I can't say, well, okay, I'm not a bodybuilder, so I can go to Golds
Hmm.
and I can work out and I can do the things that they do in Golds, but I don't have the cookie cutter bro split where we're gonna do chest one day, we're gonna
Yeah.
do back the next day. I don't do that. And I actually was at the Y today, and I saw a guy. I stretched for 10 minutes. I did the bike for 10 minutes. I did adductors.
Hmm.
I did extensions, leg extensions and curls before I started my leg workout.
Hmm.
I did that. He was on the bench the whole time. I did all that stuff.
Wasting freaking time.
He did
Get off
four,
the
I think
bench.
he did 4 exercises,
Hmm.
and they all was chest. And I was like, man, I
Mm.
was looking, I said, man, I remember I used to do that.
Yep.
But like he was in there for like an hour, and by the time he was finished, I had did squats, deadlifts,
Everything.
pull-ups, chest. I did so much stuff. And then I
Hmm.
ran. I ran 3 miles.
Yeah. I
And I was
remember
like,
them days, man. Oh, they were
yeah, and
like,
it's
I don't know, bittersweet. Like, I remember though, because Monday, especially in the military, Monday was always chest day. Everybody was doing chest. I eventually had to switch it up because everybody did chest on Monday. I don't do chest on Monday now because of that. You know what I mean? Because I did chest day for so many years on Monday. And after a while, as I got older and going to the military, being in the military after a while, I was like, every time I go, it's like everybody's on all the benches, man. It's like every Monday,
Yeah.
everybody's hogging up all the benches. Like, do something else. So I just end up, that kind of forced me to adjust my workout plan and changing and stuff like this, man. It's funny how you talk about, being in the healthcare industry for those years, help you, kind of shed some light on, the whole fitness industry and health, food and diet and everything, man, because it's so important. Even now with everything that's going on and whether or not you're gonna get the shot or not, all these things like this. Like one thing that I don't hear of is, what can you do better to, be in better shape or to be better in better health? There's not a push for that as far as a remedy for any of this. You know what I mean? And I tell
Well,
people all the time, control what you can control. Mask, no mask, whatever. I get all of that. Whatever side you want to be on whatever side you want to be on. But also be on the side of looking at your body, taking care of it, having great health. You know what I mean? Like I said, controlling what you can control, man. So how do you see the benefits of having of eating healthy and having, taking a more of a not even a more, but just even starting to think about contemplating a more of a holistic type of approach to medicine and fitness and stuff like that.
now more than ever for us,
Hmm.
it's extremely important,
I
and
agree.
it's and then like when the COVID and everything first started, and I was like, man, yeah, yeah. I was saying, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, and then it didn't hit me until they started closing the gyms.
Mm.
Oh my God, I was like, the gym closed? That for what? Why the gym
Yeah.
closed? I was like, what? So I found a underground gym,
Mm.
and then I was like, man, I'm like, I don't get what y'all. I'm working out,
Yeah.
but and everybody, I always post something. I used to post all my workouts
Yeah.
on Facebook all the time. So now
I didn't like a
I
whole
post.
bunch of them.
You know,
Right?
but remember I post
Yeah.
my
You said you
runs,
was gonna take
but
a little break or something.
I would post my circuits. I would
Mm.
post like I would do circuit. I would post my circuit. Ah man, I'm tired just reading this. So then like
Yeah.
it became like I'm oh you obsessed.
Hmm.
You addicted. I'm like, nah
You wouldn't
man.
have got that
I'm like,
in the group in consistency fitness 365. You don't
yeah,
get all the
yeah,
love
yeah.
over there. Ain't nobody.
Dude,
I still
I
get it
stopped.
some, but I don't care.
I stopped posting. I was like, you know what? I'm like, but people were like, man, people would inbox me, yo, you inspiring, man. Keep posting it. But I was like,
Yeah.
and it's a thing. It's like, nah, I'm not obsessed because I don't do the same thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I got goals. I have things I need to do, and I can't do them if I ain't working. If I'm not training. So I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to.
Exactly.
But going back to COVID,
Hmm.
so it's funny because I don't never have to go to the gym to work out,
Hmm.
and
Same.
I know this.
Yep.
I have so many. I have like so many workout. I got bands. I got weight
Yep.
vests. I got all that stuff. I don't have to go. I don't have to go to the gym to work out.
Yep.
But being in the the mode where you're in the gym every day and you have a certain goal of what you're trying to get and what you're trying to obtain. Okay, yeah, I'm in the gym, blah blah blah. So when the gym closed, I was like, oh well, man. I said, yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I live down the street from the Greenway. I can go with my pull-ups, my push-ups, get my bands out, broke all that stuff out. Then they closed the park.
Mm.
I was like, dang. So that's when I went to the underground gym.
Mm.
So I get to the underground gym. I'm like, I'm just gonna do my calisthenics until this all blow out. I'm not gonna do no weights and all that, And it was hot. And I used to be my whole minor league football career and on up. I always trained in sweatpants. I never wore shorts.
Hmm.
And when I was working, we used to have to run these crazy ridiculous hills and stuff when I was boxing. And the dude that was leading the class was a young kid, and he did it in sweats and Timbs. And I
Mm.
was like, yo, I was like, You ain't hot? We're in Charlotte. You know, Charlotte's a
Yeah.
different type of heat. You
Yeah.
ain't hot? Nah, you just get used to blah. I'm like, nah, you don't get used to it.
Hot, bro.
I used to do legs with my
Mm-hmm.
sweatpants on, and I
Mm-hmm.
had to take them off because I would get dizzy.
Dang. Yeah, he about
Like
to, bro. You about to pass out. About to
I
dehydrate.
over I overheat quick.
Overheat. Yeah.
I was like, I can't do that, man. When she started doing it, I'm like, man, forget that. I wore sweats every day.
Mm.
Summertime, I had on sweats. I would cut them up above the ankle a little bit, but I stayed in sweatpants. So I'm like, okay, I should do my calisthenics every day. I do this, I do that. Then I was like, man, forget that, man. I
Yeah.
went back to lifting weights. So after the gym stuff opened back up and everything, and I thought about it, I was like, if I would have stayed running calisthenics, doing my bands and stuff, I was like, man, I'd be, I would probably be like 6% body fat.
Mm.
So I was like, man, oh well, like you missed your opportunity, so it's too late now.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like going back, I went a whole year without lifting weights. I just did boxing, bands, calisthenics. I had a young kid. We would get up at 5 in the morning, run 5 miles every day.
Yeah. Love it.
Yes, and it's like, but then now it's like, yeah, 5 miles sounds good, but I don't
Yeah.
know if I really want to do it. Because now, like contrary to belief, I'm not in the gym 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely not.
if I run 5 miles, then I I ain't lifting weights.
Yeah.
I'm not working. That's gonna be pretty much my workout
Yeah.
for time purposes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but going back, from taking a step back and
Mm-hmm.
looking at everything, okay, people actually sued the government for saying that for closing the gyms because they had scientific proof that they were in a class action suit with proof that exercise and everything, it helps with COVID, it helps your breathing, it does all this and the third. So when I was in
Okay.
the underground gym, they got some fines and stuff, had to go to court.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody, like 85% of the people that worked out there, they were first responders and essential workers.
Mm.
So you
Ooh.
shut that.
That's a
So
twist.
you shut a gym down where all the essential workers are at, and all
Mm-hmm.
of the some of the doctors, everybody all work out at
Yeah.
this gym on center.
Mm.
So right across the Lansdowne. So it got so much traffic because you seen like all these white people in Lansdowne, like what's going
Yeah. And
on?
Lansdowne. Like what?
Yeah, it was on center right in Lansdowne. So I was like, man, so if you shut the gyms down,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's got to stay in the house. Nobody, and like literally, people took. Well, I'm not going out. No, I'm not going outside. So they stayed inside. They didn't do
Mm-hmm.
anything. They got $1,000 a month for EBT.
Yeah.
They ate themselves to death. So that whole long duration, you eat,
Yep.
look at TV, you don't do nothing.
Yep.
So think about how much the average person, think about how much weight they gain,
Yep.
depression. Um, Now they're saying some of the kids, diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
So you took something that was a catastrophic situation, and then you made them stay in the house. You made it worse
Mm.
because they didn't get COVID, but then they got high blood pressure. They them gained 30, 40 pounds. People talking, I got to get this COVID weight off of me, blah, blah. They're still talking about getting the COVID weight
Yeah.
off them.
Still
It ain't
talking.
started.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't even
Yeah.
started yet.
Ain't even started 2022. I don't even
Yeah.
know if the gyms and stuff is full as they used to be. Like I'm not at I got
Not really.
everything at the house, but it seems like this year, it could be maybe an odd year, or maybe I'm just not paying attention. I didn't hear a lot of people talking about New Year's resolution to lose weight. I didn't see it in masses like
It's
I
the
feel like I
18th.
usually do.
It's
Huh?
the 18th. It's the 18th. It would have been the 30th. By the 30th, they wasn't going to be in there no more anyway.
Yeah.
I did the first through the first of February was I hate it because I'm like, man, all these people coming
Yeah.
with these resolutions,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I'm gonna tell you, Planet Fitness probably. I call. I say this, and I say it, but every time I say it, I catch a lot of flack for it.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna give the reason why I'm saying it.
Okay.
So you're not thinking I'm being insensitive or I'm being an a-hole.
Okay.
I go to Planet Fit when I'm on the road. I'm at Planet Fitness.
Hmm.
If everybody else closed, I know Planet Fitness open.
Okay.
I call Planet Fitness a daycare for fat people,
Mm.
and I catch a lot of flack when I say it
Hmm.
because the the statement itself sounds bad.
Yeah.
But Planet Fitness have made millions of dollars off profiting off people that
Ooh.
don't know what and how to do, what
Hmm.
they need to do.
Yep.
And it's like, you look at it, they don't want nobody, they don't want no real fitness people in there because
Nope.
they got a lunk
The
alarm.
lunk alarm, that purple light
You
that'll
get it.
go off if you grunting. Hey, they,
Yeah.
they didn't hit it on me before.
Your jug can't be over a gallon, can't be a gallon.
You can't do a
You can't
gallon
have
jug now.
no, you never could in some cases. If
I didn't
they
even know.
knew that you had a real legit gallon, they
Hmm.
say, man, it's some people at Planet Fitness, some spots in Planet Fitness where people have had like workout clothes like the tights and the halter top. They made them
Hmm.
change their clothes because you are shaming everybody else
Mm.
because you're flaunting how you look and you're kind of making everybody else look bad. People have come back and like they've told them they had to put another shirt on,
Mm.
stuff like that. Like,
I don't remember when they took most of the squat racks out back in the day.
yeah, they got Smith
Yeah, I
machines.
remember that.
You
Yeah,
can't
and they got Smith machines and stuff. They ain't
you
got a
can't
whole
take
bunch of
your
heavy weights.
weight vest in there. If you do, you got to put another shirt over top of it.
Over a weight vest?
I've heard it all, man.
Oh
You
my
can't take you
goodness,
can't jump
man.
you can't jump rope.
I remember they used to have, I know sometimes I used to go, and they used to have, I didn't have membership. I used to go with someone, and they used to have like Saturday mornings, I would see like cupcakes.
Yeah,
I've
member
seen hot
appreciation,
dogs and stuff. And I'm like,
pizza,
yeah,
pizza,
pizza. I'm just like, we come in here to work out. Like, why are y'all catering cupcakes and stuff? Like,
cookies, cookies, no donuts, and coffee in the morning. Pizza and I think subs in the
mm-hmm.
afternoon for the member appreciation. And I mean,
Yes.
it's so much. It's so
It's
many
sending the
things,
wrong
and then
message.
even on that, even if you kind of like ignore that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's called the no judgment zone.
There you go.
So
No
when
one's
you
gonna
go
judge
to
you.
a gym and you see people that are serious about fitness,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have any idea or know about fitness, then you're intimidated by the people who are working out.
Absolutely.
So then you don't want to go anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
then, okay, well, this is a judgment free zone. So now you can come here and you can do whatever you want, however
Mm-hmm.
you want to do it
You can even eat
within our,
cupcakes.
within our, yeah. Why you working out?
Yeah.
So it's
Why are you
kind of
working
like,
out?
you set people up for failure. And like, I go to Planet Fitness and I'll look and
Mm-hmm.
I just shake my head because a lot of times, like people, they legit don't know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yep.
And it's crazy because some of these people been in there for 3, 4, 5 years,
Yeah. With no results.
no results. And
I
it's
man,
one,
I seen it.
and it's one, and it's the thing that now in bodybuilding or aesthetic fitness is kind of like there's no form police. You can do
Mm.
the exercises how you want to do it. Um,
I was
it's
just
about the
talking to
pump.
somebody about that. Even with the CrossFit, even with
Yeah,
the kipping pull ups and stuff. Now it's about how many pull ups can you do. You do just a regular pull up. No, so let's invent the kipping. I don't know if they invented it or whatever, but you got the kipping pull up where you kind
the
of do them like
butterflies
this.
and
Yeah, and stuff. It's like, yeah.
yeah. It's and I watch a lot of times when I run like my 4 and 5 miles, I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at CrossFit. I'm looking at
Mm.
CrossFit because they do some amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I haven't seen a person outside of real CrossFit that has done CrossFit and look like them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you know,
There you
I like
go.
watching. I
There
like
you
watching them.
go. You
I
said it
mean,
right there. Yeah.
and I mean, it's a reason.
Mm-hmm. It's a reason. Yeah.
It's a reason.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just
I
it's.
will say this. Have you done CrossFit before? Like
I've done
in
a.
in
I've
in the actual like in the actual box, like for an
not. I
extended
haven't done
amount.
it. I haven't done it. I haven't done CrossFit. I
Yeah.
I started a like a boxing training program that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Have some
in the
implements of
CrossFit.
that in it.
Yeah, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I did that,
Mm-hmm.
but like actual CrossFit, no.
Yeah. So I've actually done it before. I've paid. It is expensive, but expensive is relative. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If you know what I mean, it all depends on to your situation and stuff. But and then I felt like paying $100 and something a month was okay because I didn't have to think about what I was going to work. All I had to do was show up. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So that was one good thing I liked about it. I did like the camaraderie. I like the cohesion. I like, if me and you go in there, even if I don't know you, I can compete against you. You know what I mean? So I did
yeah.
like those aspects of it. There were some movements in it and stuff that I think that, maybe, everybody's not necessarily ready for. But I think that's where, if you got good coaches and stuff like that, it's okay. But I think overall it is there's a lot of probably more pros than cons, but you can get injured. I know a lot of people say that, but and it comes from different ways. I would say, like for me, it happened because of ego. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Ego
was
lifting.
doing something I shouldn't have been doing. I shouldn't. I just learned how to do muscle ups, and I shouldn't have been doing muscle ups um, after I just did them, and I shouldn't have been doing them on the ring. You know what I mean? And I kind of messed up my
Oh
shoulder for about
wow.
exactly. I didn't know how to
Yeah.
control my weight and control my body on the rings. Um, and I'm not saying that the trainer, they probably told me to not to do it. And I'm probably just like, oh God, I can do it. You see me doing them over there. And you know what I mean? And that's where, I think where sometimes injury comes in, or maybe, there's a whole bunch of different reasons, but people get injured in everything. And I think one thing is CrossFit does get a bad rep for those injuries, but I do think that sometimes it's because, you there pushing, man. Like you talk about like, when you going through the hole, like you want contact. You know what I mean? And it's just certain people when they go to the gym, like they want to be able to outdo or they want to compete against other people. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what happens with it some. But I think overall, it's a good thing. Um, and like I said, the people in the CrossFit in the box, they don't look like the ones on TV.
Nah,
But they
nah.
do have good bodies. Like man, like I saw my girl like really get like strong and tone up in certain areas, and I got really lean and tone and stuff like this. I you do. I like being
But
functional.
it's all about what you do with it and how serious you take it.
Absolutely,
That's how I
absolutely.
see it. And those
Mhm.
the CrossFit community,
Mhm. Yeah.
they take it pretty
Yeah.
like I was before I even started really watching it, like
Mhm.
one of my favorite off the top is oh man, Akawande.
Mhm.
I can man, what is it? Elizabeth Akinwale,
Okay.
Akinwande. She was like one of my favorite from back in the day. And I still follow her now on Instagram because she still
Okay.
trains and she has her own little thing. Sarah's daughter,
Yeah.
like
All
beast.
them
I was like,
girls.
man, like all the daughters,
All
all
them
the Sarahs,
daughters.
all the
Yeah.
daughters, all the
Yeah.
Viking daughters.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I was like, man, like just it's crazy, man. They work,
They
they
train.
work,
And bruh,
and
I
then
will tell you
the
this. You do
diet,
train.
yeah, the diet and all that,
Yeah.
yeah, it's attainable.
Yeah.
But just like in bodybuilding, you know,
Those are the one
there's some other
percenters,
things.
man.
There's some other
Yeah.
things that missed it with. So, and then
And
contrary to belief, the Vikings and the people in the other countries,
mhm.
they tend to take it more serious than we do, and they have
Mhm.
less distractions than we
Yes.
do. So, they perform a lot better.
Yeah. And I ain't even mad at them because I like watching all of that stuff, man. I don't watch it all the
Yeah,
time, but I've watched plenty of the CrossFit games and stuff like that when they've come out, and it's always interesting. It's always good to just see those people and like how many of the stuff they could do. Cause like Um, that's how I got into doing the Murph. So I've done Murph twice. Have you done that yet?
Yeah,
Murph?
I've done it a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, you did it with the vest and everything.
No.
20-pound
Nah,
vest.
I didn't do it the
Yeah.
best. Nah.
I did. So the first time I didn't do it with the vest, and then like we end up having to like split up the workout because I was kind of new at it. So they didn't want me to like do whatever, but I wanted to. But I did it last year with the vest, and it freaking sucked, man. It sucked. It sucked a lot.
Start
I
doing.
mean,
I
running.
pull my
Because
I
you
pull my
probably
vest
can
out
do it
more.
now. Yeah, I mean, you probably because you running now, and I see all your posts and stuff like that. So you putting in a bunch of miles and stuff now. But I think by May, man, we might would just put that on the board, man. Put that on the calendar and do it. You know what I mean? Because I mean,
Yeah.
that the hardest part I think for me is the push ups with the vest on, because I just don't because I got short arms, just having that weight and that extra weight across the top, I just
Yeah.
going up and down, it's not a lot of space. And I just don't, I never train with the weight vest with push ups. I would do it with pull ups and squats and stuff like this, but I usually don't weight train or do any workouts. I don't use the weight vest for push ups and
Yeah.
maybe a couple of exercises and stuff.
The pull ups, it's probably the pull ups for me. I have a lingering shoulder injury,
Mm-hmm.
but normally like the vest itself, I looked at that vest, man, so many days and be like,
Yeah. Like, man, get out of here.
but like I've done like whole workouts with the vest on. I've done boxing workouts with the vest on. I've done
Mm.
mitts with the vest on. So, but I think the vest I have now is a 70-pound vest, and you can adjust it. But I think right now I think it's like 40 pounds in it.
That's a
But
lot,
I'm like,
man. Still.
I ran like did a mile with it on.
40 pounds?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah. I walk with it. Remember we talked
Yeah.
about the rucking?
Mm-hmm.
I never got a rucksack, so I would walk
Yeah.
with it. And man, I have a heel. You know where Angus is?
Mm-mm.
Man,
Angus, the
Angus.
street Angus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure I
like right
do.
off Peters Creek. It's a
I
steep
know what
hill.
Peters Creek is.
It's a steep hill. It's in the neighborhood. It's a steep hill.
Okay.
Um, I've ran with the vest up Angus,
Mm-hmm.
and like sometimes like if I'll run and if I feel like I'm getting fatigued, I'll turn around and run backwards, and then I'll switch it back. But like Angus, man, Angus is real.
Yeah.
I think if you start at the top of the hill in a car and coast down Angus, you'll probably get to 25, 30 miles an hour.
Well,
That's how steep it is.
I don't
So
get.
like, yeah, it's people don't even walk up. They don't even want to walk up it.
Yeah. Much less
So
with a
yeah,
40-pound vest on.
yeah.
I'm at my vest right now is at 20 pounds. I have a rucksack right now that has 35 in it. No, 25 in it right now. But I've had back surgery and stuff already, man. So, and I've been in the military.
Oh
I've carried
yeah.
those big, heavy, backpacks and rucksacks on my back. So I just don't do it no more. I may get up to 40 one day or 35, but I probably won't go any higher than that just because, 46, man. And the only time I
Yeah.
really train, like I'll probably start training next month again with the weight vest because Murph, I think, is in May. So I usually train up a couple of months here and there. Like next month, I maybe use it here and there. And then, in March, I'll up it a little bit. And then April, I'll go up a little bit more, kind of ramp it up. But usually after that, usually May, June, I really don't touch the weight vest no more. I started picking up the rucksack again and started doing rucking. I changed my workouts all year long, man. I'm kind of like, man, I don't like being boxed into one category. You know what I mean? Anymore. Like
Yeah.
I like burpees, I like push-ups, I like body weights. I'm doing a lot of body weight right now. And then I just started implementing bench and squats with weights and different things like that back into my workout this month. You know what I mean? But I just like variety and I like like main thing, like functional, man. It's like when I lift the weights, we lift
Yeah.
all the heavy weights. I didn't really feel as functional as I am now. Like I
What
feel
can
like I
you
can do
do
a
it?
whole lot more. Yeah, what can you just do with all that weight? Because man, I used to
Yeah.
be, I'm 160 now. I got up to like almost 190. But I was jacked, man. I had like a 28-inch waist, man. This was like I was good, man. But
Yeah.
I, even for me, even reaching around wiping and doing things, it was hard. You know what I
That's true.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I'm a little dude. You know what I mean? I can even imagine being like that, man. And I think part of it had to be because I didn't stretch. My muscles probably really tight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, I've always been like an average stretcher. I
Yeah,
stretch a
I'm
lot.
so bad at
I
it, man.
I can do the hurdle stretch, and I can still put my forehead on my knee.
I
So
ain't never been able to do that.
I always stretched, and
But
even
did
like
did so did that come from the martial arts and stuff? Because I got a friend, he stretch and flexible, and he said it started when he was in martial arts. He's just something
it
he just
did
stuck with.
it. I think I had it before that. I
Mm,
stretched before. I had a certain level of flexibility, and I kind of stuck with it. And I'm always stretching. I'm stretching through my workout. I'm just always stretching. And
mm,
like now, like I think now I'm like probably I'm a guesstimate. I'm like about 245.
mm,
So like I still I still stretch. So I don't feel stiff and tight.
yeah.
Like I can bend down, put my palms on the ground, standing straight up, touch my toes, all that. And it's just, that's the bare minimum. That's you
Yeah.
gotta have that. But like I've been doing a lot of sleds. Um the sleds, um dragging,
That's good.
um the sled, attach the TRX strap to the sled, push it, then pull it back with the for the back. Been doing a lot of those. Farmers walks, deadlifts with the farmer walk with the trap bar.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of those. But what I've been doing is I don't go. We got like they got a turf, like a turf strip.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 18 feet, 18 yards one way. So I go
Mm.
down and back, but I don't go straight. I'll take 3 or 4 steps, and then I'll turn and go to the right, and then I'll straighten and I'll go back to the left. So I don't never
Mm.
do it straight. I do it zigzag.
Oh.
So it helps you not being able to stay straight. Just keep it straight.
Mm.
What if you got to turn it? So if I'm in the
Yeah.
sled, I'm pushing the sled, turn it, do it again, turn it. Like kind of like football, like
Yeah.
when you turning your man. I'll
Mm-hmm.
do that. But then I was like, man, it's a guy that's he works out at Goals. He's about 6'6", probably like 2'8", big
Mm.
dude, all muscle.
Dang.
One day
Six
before
six two
I was
eighty. He's a monster.
I want to say maybe 260, 270, but he's all muscle. Um, had a lot of heavy squats and deadlifts. One day, and I wasn't even doing the sled. I see the sled like, man, I'm not doing that. He had 9 plates on the sled, and he just, I'm
Pushing.
looking like, yeah. So one day, I'm doing like on my leg day. If I'm at Goals, I'll
Mm-hmm.
do squats, and then when I finish with my set of squats, I'll go over to the sled and I'll push the sled
That's
and
probably
I'll push it
good.
down and back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll push it out down and back, or I'll pick the deadlifts up. I'll do squats and deadlifts, and I'll do my deadlifts. Then I'll do the farmer's walk down and back, and then I'll hit the jump rope, and that'll be one set.
Mm.
So I'm like, yeah, man, we was talking. Yeah, I'm gonna do some supersets and get the sled. Oh, I'm gonna do the sled with you. I was like, okay, yeah, cool. So I had like 3 or 4 on there. I look up, exclaim, exclaim.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I said, oh, I thought you was gonna work in.
Mm-hmm.
You did just repo the sled.
Yeah.
Man, I think he had 7. I said, man, I'm gonna do it. Man, I was like, oh my God. I felt like my Achilles was about to bust out my
Mm.
leg. I was like, dude. I think I got up to 8. And then I started looking, I'm like, man, I'm like something's not right. I'm like, then I started looking at some videos and things about sleds. So I run, I box, I do certain things, which causes you to change your stance and your change of your body weight.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you boxing, if you wanna move, change your stance,
Yeah.
move around. So then when you're doing a sled, majority of the time you see them on sled CrossFit, you see them like all the way down low,
Mm-hmm.
pushing the sled, right? And I thought about it, I'm like, what's the purpose of me doing the sled? I'm like, because this right here is ego lifting at its highest.
Yeah, with the
I'm like,
9 on there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got up, I got up by myself. I got up to like 8.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm like, but what is it doing? What is it doing for me? So I started doing the sled instead of being all the way low. I take the sled and go high, and I will walk the sled and make sure my full foot touches the ground as I'm pushing. But if I'm moving fast with the sled, I keep in the position, my body, as if I'm running. So you get the best benefit of it when you're in the running position slightly forward instead of like this digging. So when you're going this way, when your body's like you're running in that run position, that run form,
Mm-hmm.
you get more out of it. I was like, man, I was like, yeah. So it's just certain things, certain things you twitch it a little bit, you mess with it a little bit. And then I also talking about weight vests. You seen the weight vest where you can take the plates, the plates in the gym and attach it to the weight vest?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I
man.
didn't like I don't think I'm gonna like that. I looked at it and I
I
was like, oh
I was
no.
in I was at the Y
Okay.
and I seen a young lady with it. And I was looking like, so I'm watching her as she's using it. Because I
Yeah.
never seen nobody working on using it before.
Yeah, I just
And
saw it.
I'm
I
like,
literally just saw it, I think last week. It just popped up somewhere
I
on
saw it too.
Facebook or something.
I saw it 2 years ago. So I go up to her. I
Mm.
say, "Excuse me." I say, "How you like that? The wafers?" "Oh, I love it. My uncle got it for me." Blah blah blah. I think she ran and did some other stuff, but like ideally, I could work out like I'm doing push-ups, pull-ups, dips through my workout. So if I had that, I could say, okay, well, I'm gonna put 35. I'm gonna put 70 pounds on, 80 pounds. Hit my pull-ups, do my dips, push-ups. Then I'm
It's,
gonna go run. I can take that off, adjust to put a 10-pound on, and I can go run on a treadmill. So it gives you a level of convenience because
yeah.
you can take that off and on.
Yeah.
I was
Cause
like,
my weight
man,
vest, I got the little bags in it. Which I'm gonna get
yeah.
another one for
And think
plates. I
think
don't
about it.
like the bags.
Think about it. Yeah, because you got 60 bags in the bag. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take this out. Okay, this
Yeah.
2.1.
Then they don't
So
ever want to go back in and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
why I don't like it. I got a cheap one. When I won't
I
cost
think
like $300, and it's like,
I know which one you're talking about too.
yeah, it's the
Yeah,
511, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why I
yeah.
ain't got it.
Let's see. I don't have a I got some couple weights. I got some push-ups, pull-up, dip bar. Um, Goals just got new treadmills, so they got treadmills for sale for like $400. So
Mm.
but they got I'm gonna tell you something. The goals here, the cardio equipment is so dated.
Oh,
Like they got treadmills. I think they probably them
that
treadmills
Life
probably was
Fitness or whatever.
yeah
Mm.
90s.
Yeah,
Remember the industrial treadmills where it's got the poles on the side and it's just straight the treadmill. Then it has like a big screen
yeah,
and then you can put your hands up here to check
yeah,
your pulse and all that.
yeah.
They have those,
They still
and it
got
and
those.
it goes to the incline and decline.
Mm-hmm.
They have those. They have those. So they're selling those for like $400. I'm thinking about getting one. I'm thinking about
I
getting it.
mean, if they
Just
still working,
the
how,
thing about it
man.
is,
But
like I was gonna cancel my membership because like there's only 3 treadmills I could get on. Like if I go on 7, the treadmill's shutting off. They completely cut off.
because it was too much weight for the band or something. I feel like the equipment old. Like I would get one, but I just wonder how long it would last and if it craps out. I feel like a lot of maintenance on them old things. I mean, I don't know, but I feel like that part of it.
I was like, man, I get this. It lasts me a couple months, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about cause my fiance, she don't walk outside
Mm-hmm.
once it's dark.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
thinking about getting something for her. So maybe getting a real deal one.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause if I got a real deal, and I'd be like, well, man, I'm like, do I need to really go to the gym? Because you know, as long as I
Yeah.
can run and move, if I don't have over 10,000 steps for the day, I didn't fail.
That's me. That's me.
I didn't,
I think I
I
set
didn't
mine
fail.
at 12,000 now. I think mine's at 12,000. Sometimes I
Yeah,
hit
I've been
about
hit
15, but
since I had been in the truck. I've been getting 13,
yeah. Yeah, but
13,
10 is
15.
like the minimum. That's on the lazy day. I got to get 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Me too. Me too,
I be
man. Hey,
asking her.
man.
I'm like, how many steps you got today?
Hmm.
Oh, 2,000.
Yeah, I be seeing people like teachers. I'm like, it's 12 o'clock. Like, you get 2,000
Yeah,
steps.
yeah,
I don't know, but it is what it is, man. I
yeah.
can't do it. You thought about what about rowing machine?
I had one at one
Yeah,
time. I used to
I
have one.
want the concept too.
I
That's
had
the one I
I
want.
had one. I had one. I actually owned one, and I gave it away. I had a home.
Man,
I had a home. I had a home boxing gym.
mm,
Like I had a bag. I had the bag that comes out of the wall.
mm,
I had a row machine. I had a treadmill, bands, pull up thing you put on the door, and I had like a whole setup.
yeah.
And I think I used that rower, man. I don't know, like for some reason. Sometimes the rower makes me dizzy.
Mm. I can
So
see
I was
that.
like,
There's a lot of moving,
yeah.
especially in the same little spot. Yeah,
No,
I can definitely see that.
the new ones with that water in them, I have not
The
used
aqua one.
those.
Yeah, I haven't used.
Yeah,
I used one at the gym before the pandemic and stuff, but that
yeah.
was
I've,
about
I've
it.
been I've been saying I'm gonna get on it someday. I'll be like, I'm gonna do a day where I
Hmm.
run, swim, and row, and I've never done it yet. Because
Not
goals,
yet.
they have a pool. Yeah, that
Oh,
not
okay.
yet.
Yeah, not yet. Hey man, before we wrap up, I want to play a little game called little word association. If you down.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Let's do it.
so pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a word and then you reply with a one word. All right, whatever
Okay.
word comes to your mind, you take a while to think about it. Whatever you want to do, and then I'll give you a couple of chances to just share some light on anything that you want to shed your light on. Um,
Okay.
all right. So the first word is football.
Mhm. One word.
One word. You know what? One word or a phrase. One word or a small phrase. Whatever come to your mind. I'll leave it
Gotta
open.
have it. Gotta
Gotta
have it.
have it. Okay, I like it. Rugby.
Dream sport.
Ooh. Food.
Necessity.
All right. So I got a total of 10 of them. So we got 7 more.
Okay.
Muscles.
So we all have
Roanoke.
home.
There you go. Trainers.
Necessity. Essential.
Essential. Okay.
Essential.
Family.
The most important.
Most important. Got 3 more. Boxing.
Boxing. The sweet science.
Ooh, that's a good one. Technique.
Technique. Life.
I figured that one was gonna have something to it. Cause you a lot of technique, a lot of attention to detail really came out in you. I heard a lot of attention to detail in our conversation. So I thought I wrote all of these things down while we were speaking. So you see me look down. That's what I was doing.
Ah,
I
okay,
was I was
okay.
writing. I was taking notes. And the last one is consistency.
Consistency, the bloodline.
There you go. There you go. Hey Kevin, man. This will take a couple few minutes, man, to wrap up and say anything that you may want to say to anybody when it comes to fitness, when it comes to working out, boxing, rugby, anything that we've talked about, or anything you may not have shared. Please feel free. Please feel free to do so at this time.
Okay. Fitness
Mm-hmm.
is, as we all know, it's a broad band, a wide range. Um, Fitness, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing to be fit, but you have to do something. I mean, you have to, you know, it's one of the things that kind of made me step back from training is you can care more than the people that you're training.
Mm.
And, you know, trainers really, trainers really are a psychiatrist or psychologist,
Mm.
because you have to find what can motivate somebody. You have to be able to press buttons. Um, but when I would always train people education science, exercise science. I would teach you how to work out so you're able to not have me beside you to walk you through it, because you already know what you're doing. So you're basically, I'm teaching you how to do something. I'm not training you to lose weight or to be in shape. I'm teaching you to be able to teach yourself. And, you know, it's kind of like you got to do the work. You got, you know, the form, everything. But like, it all seems intimidating, but you got to start somewhere. You got to do something, because we all start sometimes when it's too late. By the time, you know, you're on medication, or you got to do this, you got to cut this out, or you might have to have something amputated. So you got to start now, even if it's walking. But like, my just plea to everybody is like, do something other than talk about it and make an excuse of why you can't do it.
Yeah.
Because as much time as you can make an excuse of why you can't do it, you took that time off from you doing it.
I agree.
So it's just,
Man.
you know, just health. Just at the end of the day, you ain't got but your health.
Yep. One
You got to
body.
take it. You got to take care of it. You only get one. And I mean, you know, it's a lot. You got to break a lot of curses. You got to break a lot of generational. But you know, you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do it.
I agree. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kevin Washington. And until next time, stay consistent and stay fit 365 days a year. We are out.